Welcome along to episode 50. It's half a century of the Top Loaded podcast, and no better way than doing it than the London Car Show review. A very long weekend for my friend who is joining me, and I think he's only just about recovering now, slightly. So, Harry, a bit exhausted still.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. I'm absolutely knackered. I think it was like a 20-hour day on Saturday altogether. And then yeah, straight back to work today. So, but no, I mean, yeah, I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep. But no, I mean, honestly, you're on like what a weekend.
Yeah, yeah, it was like I say, I was watching from afar on Saturday and then joining Sunday. So, what we'll do is we'll look back both days. Obviously, you're going to be the right man to talk about the Saturday, obviously the daytime and the trade. So I'll let you take that away because obviously we could both talk about Sunday. But Saturday did, by the pictures of what I saw, looked very busy for the team, especially trying to get everyone through them doors.
Yeah, I don't know if Harry actually took a minute to breathe from what I saw of him. He was constantly pinging about left, right, and centre over the hall. So, but no, Saturday was a really really good day. It was really busy. A lot of good energy in the room. It was about I think about 1,700 people in there, obviously, and then vendors and tables and whatnot. So. Yeah, it was an absolutely wicked Saturday. To be fair, it was great to catch up with so many different people. You walk into the room and you're already seeing people that you recognize, and the hall was such a good venue. Obviously, we know the original hall at Sandown was a good venue, a really really strong venue, but to bring into this new hall, and you've got the massive Whatnot creator studio at the back, the big main stage, just where I know Tops were doing a bit of breaking over the weekend. But no, Saturday was a really really good day. Yeah, a very 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 busy day, but a lot of good tables, a lot of good cars on display, a lot of good content being made. But no, yeah, it was great to see. Obviously, another great successful London Card Show. To see it obviously from the whole build up to when we've been speaking to Harry on the podcast, obviously speaking to him prior about different things. To then see, to sit now and think that's it. The weekend's done. We're back to work and back to working life. So but no, yeah, I honestly would say it every review, but I seriously take my hat off to Harry and his team. They put on an absolutely unbelievable show again this weekend. I'm sure they're all probably having some very well deserved rest and sleep right now after the countless hours they've put in over the last sort of 5 days, setting the show up, bringing the show back down, setting up for trade night. I know I obviously went back and helped Harry set up for trade night on the Saturday night, and I mean, yeah, trying to transform that front room from what it was like originally back to a trade night setup was quite something. But no, yeah, it was an absolutely wicked show, and I really take my hat off to Harry and his whole team he had. Um, Trade night was very very good, very good. A lot of good deals being done. It's very similar to the last trade night we all went on. And a lot of good cars out on display, and a lot of cars you don't normally see during the day. Obviously, when you got a lot of just the general admittance or any VIPs that obviously don't have a table, sort of their chance to get out their PCs, their cars, and look at what you can to try and trade. So yeah, it was a really good trade night. Obviously, a lot of newer cards, a lot of different cards we've seen, a lot of Pokemon being ripped from what I saw. I know me and Harry did a little trade up challenge. We ripped a box of F1 Chrome Light and traded up from a plain normal base card, and ended up with a Haaland rookie sticker PSA 8, which we then transformed into another light box. So from a light box, traded up to another light box. So it's little things like that that made the show really really special. And I think for the first show in that new hall, it's definitely got a lot more room to grow. I know they had a curtain put up at the back which blocks off more of that hall, which they could definitely try and open up or see at the next show. But no, the whole day on Saturday was absolutely manic. Like, it was from start to finish. I blinked and it come to 4 o'clock. I blinked and it was 9 o'clock and trade night was finishing. But no, I can't thank Harry and his team enough for obviously their hospitality, obviously the countless hours they put into the show and making the show what it is. And they deserve all the credit in the world because they really do smash it every single time. But no, yeah, it was a wicked Saturday.
Yeah, I was just obviously I was there Sunday, but in terms of the Saturday, for people who was interested, what was the kind of split between like your TCGs and your sports? Was it quite even or?
I normally on a Saturday at London, you probably say maybe about 70-30 more sports to TCG. Hazarding a guess, it was probably 55-45 sports to TCG. There was a lot more TCG there this time that I thought there would be, which obviously isn't a bad thing. It's good to see a lot of versatility and a lot of differentiation across all the different sports and TCG cards. But yeah, I think I'd probably go around about 55-45 in terms of the split between sports and TCG, which obviously is good because you get collectors from collecting anything from, you know, football, F1, NBA, American sports to Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all of them sort of cards. There's stuff there for absolutely everyone. And you know, it was wicked to see how much of a variation there was across the sports hall, from, you know, as I said, sports to TCG. So it was a good mix, a good variation. So yeah.
And obviously, well, before I get into Sunday, I'd just say a thank you to the Rail Network for cancelling my first train on Sunday en route to the London Card Show. Got to Waterloo, and obviously shortage of staff, even though I see them all walking around. So that was, it ended up being all right. Ended up getting in, what was it, probably about 9:30. Like, it was pretty much
Yeah.
on time anyway. So that was all good. And then obviously going in show, it was quite interesting because I'd seen some pictures, not a massive abundance, which I quite enjoyed because I was going in a bit more dark than I wanted. I didn't want to. Oh, I know where everything is. So, like I said, I think it was really well laid out. And obviously, everyone said that it was slightly less tables on the Sunday than Saturday, created a bit more room where there was a free tops ad for a free show, whatever it was. I didn't pay any attention to that. I just wanted to 2 foot the geezer because that's what I'm naturally doing at centre half. But um, how it was all laid out, I thought was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, I think a few bits of it were a bit close together, but for what we've heard, that was more down to the actual venue than it was to the actual
Yeah.
show, because they just didn't have the exact same idea as a floor perm. But I really enjoyed it. It felt like the two halves. Obviously, first half where it was all the tables, then snuck away to the right. It was quite a big like table area for eating, drinking if you had anything, and then the second half you had obviously like you said, the top stage. You had the Whatnot Creator Studio and the trading corner. I thought it was really nice. And the thing I noticed more than anything, there was daylight. Like, even though the other one was very good for it, like you had the two doors there, that one having all of the glass all the way along it, looking out to the lovely, like the paddock area of Sandown was beautiful. Having that outside bit where you can just walk in and out from, lovely. And there was a lot of good stuff on show this Sunday. I was very pleased actually. With obviously probably miss out on a few cards, but we both done very well on the actual weekend. We'll get into the pickups a bit later on, but even the Sunday, obviously it was quite, like I say, it was quite an even split, I'd say, between sports and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like something coming later on our channels and on UK Sports Card Trader, Harry's channel is like a challenge we done, and like I say, I put a preface out there that I have really no idea at all about Pokemon. For, even though you've met one of the biggest Pokemon people out there on the Saturday, being about Randolph, which I watched every one of his streams during lockdown, and it's the only
Yeah.
reason why I know who the base Pokemon are, not alone anyone else. So it's quite always interesting seeing that stuff. Obviously, usual faces were there. Always nice to see the usual faces. Obviously, like Aaron from the Grading Club. Obviously, the boys from Trade We always great. Martin Card Sales, Pat Card Key. The list goes on and on and on. Obviously, great to see Tossing down there as well, and a few of the Blackburn boys. But I actually thought the Sunday was like you say, there's probably 800 less people than the Saturday, but it had that, even though it was busy still, but it had that kind of chill vibe to it that I found. I don't know if you, because you experienced both, it was like a bit chiller, that people could actually talk to people and stand around and have a chat rather than probably getting pressed up against someone else as they're trying to look through a flick box.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, the Sunday was a lot more of a chilled out day. It gave a bit more opportunity for, you know, having conversations with people, you know, making connections with people, spending a bit more time talking to vendors and sort of going through their cards, going through their showcase. You know, I was talking to one guy, he had, you know, a load of women's chrome that he obviously sent straight off to PSA. He had a load of tens in there. But it was having that, like, you know, chance of going, oh mate, like, you got lucky in your PSA submission, you got a lot of tens in there. It was just having that ability to speak to them about their showcase. You know, he had a 1 of 1 Hamilton in BGS 9.5, I think, or PSA 9, I think it was. And he had that up as a super factor 1 of 1 from Topps Chrome in 2021. You know, it's having that ability to talk to people about their showcases, then, you know, potentially being, you know, questioned by 3-4 people at the same time. Just, you know, it isn't a bad thing. You know, the footfall was tremendous on Saturday, and it shows, you know, how popular London is and how well Harry and the team have done to have such a demand of people wanting to come to these shows. But yeah, the Sunday really gave a lot more of a relaxed feel. You had the ability to walk around a bit more freely, talk to people on a, more of a personal level rather than just a quick, brief conversation. There was, as you say, around about 700-800 people less on the Sunday. Obviously, different vendors as well, which obviously gave that of there's different more cards, different variety of things on show. So, it gave a great feel on the Sunday. I said it was a lot more chilled out, and I think Harry was a little bit more chilled out on the Sunday. He can't be too chilled out, but he had the ability to sort of talk to more people, interact with more people, which also is wicked. So yeah, it was definitely a lot more chilled out. But again, it gave that sort of opportunity to speak to people on a more of a personal level, and to find out more about them, their showcase, or their PC. So yeah, it was a really, really good weekend all round. And as I said, it's just absolutely shattering.
No, no doubt. Especially, I think quite a lot of people we spoke to as well. Obviously, we're staying up for the Super Bowl as well this Sunday. So for a lot of
Yeah.
people, it was a very long day. But like I say, I think there was a very good abundance of stuff. There's more of a selection, I'd say, of actual stuff that you had a lot. I noticed a lot more vintage this time, which was great to see.
Yeah.
See a
I mean,
few
you
bits
weren't
of.
there on the Saturday, but I think Football Cards Net, I think his Instagram was there on the Saturday. Mate, he actually had a whole table. They were overlapping, just full of pretty much vintage. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. But there was a good, as you said, a good select of vintage there throughout the weekend. But that table for me, I was like, just stuck in my head. I was like, it's just so much vintage stuff there.
Yeah, no, I know a good friend who was there with Jason El Toro Cars picked up some nice vintage stuff, especially a nice Eusebio
Mm,
PSA
that
set,
was
which was
nice. Yeah.
very nice. So it's nice to see a lot more of that. And obviously, coming from a collector, it's nice to see it as well because I've got a few slabs back recently, which a few more Vengers in the PC. I know you got some Vengers as well. It's
Mm,
just nice having the vintage slabbed up, especially in the company who is not getting paid to represent, but it looks like he's their new employee of SGC over there. He's currently, for anyone not watching, he's actually wearing an SGC t-shirt. So he's not showing any affiliate. He's showing his affiliation. I can officially say that I am not prone to any company. So if anyone did want my rights, they can more than welcome to if they just want to grade all mine in tens. But no, I think talking about pickups now, and obviously you did send me a lovely picture on Saturday, which I didn't really know how to respond when I see it because I weren't expecting
yeah.
it. So if you take away your first pickup, which was a lovely one for the PC for you.
Yeah, it was one of the things I was heading to the show, and obviously I knew Third Down had the slab mags in, and I was like, I really want to get a red PSA slab mag, red matching the Arsenal jersey, and I was like, but I've not really got one of those cards yet that I think it's worthy of a red slab mag. So I remember I was talking to, I think it was Arc Grading. I was talking to one of the guys around there, and he had an Henri Mosaic Auto and a Burkamp Mosaic Auto side by side, both PSA 9 Auto 10s, I think they both were. And I remember seeing on the price ticket on this Henri, and I remember making a note of it, and I walked away, and after about 30 seconds, I was like, I can't let that go. I can't walk away and have someone else take that. So yeah, I literally headed straight back over there and made a deal with him. So I've come away with, see if I can get the camera angle right, but yeah, Thierry Henry, Mosaic Auto, PSA 9 Auto 10. Obviously, went straight to Third Down, got it into the red slab mag, so it just pops with the red from the Arsenal and the slab mag as well. But yeah, Thierry Henry, Mosaic Auto, and obviously I've been after an Henry Auto for I don't know how long now, and I've been waiting for the right one to come up. And I think the Mosaic Autos probably are one of his nicest autos, just in terms of the card design. Obviously to have it in a PSA with the auto graded as well, and obviously in the red slab mag. Yeah, you couldn't really ask for much more than that. So when I saw it, I was like, Third Down. I'm coming straight over to you now, boys. And yeah, picked up the red PSA slab mag to go with it. So yeah, that was my first pickup from the show. So I'm very, very pleased with.
Yeah, no doubt that's going to sit perfectly in that
That's not going
PC.
anywhere.
As I say,
Nowhere ever.
sitting so nice in that PC, especially. Like I say, I remember you saying you wanted an Henri Auto. The Mosaic is a very nice version in the legendary Dreamcast kit as well.
Yeah.
It's especially now you don't even have to get it graded. You've already got it graded. So you don't
Yeah,
have to even
exactly.
deal with
Yeah.
having to wait 6 months for it to come back. So lovely pickup. And then in terms of before we go into Sunday, because obviously a lot of the pickups for me, especially obviously my other son, was there anything done at
Yeah.
trade night, or was it more of a watching on brief? And obviously, like you said, you had the trade up challenge to do.
Yeah, no, for me it was more of a watch on, and then the trade up challenge. I didn't actually get anything done on the Saturday night. Sorry, and obviously our good friends, obviously El Toro and obviously Miles MJT, did get a couple of trades done. So, but no, for me it was a bit of a quiet trade night. Obviously, I was just interacting with a lot of people, and obviously, doing the little trade up challenge with Harry as well. So, but oh yeah, for me, yeah, trade night was a bit of a quiet one, so I didn't actually get anything finished, anything traded. Sorry. But no, yeah. Apart from that, it was a really good Saturday, but a quiet trade night for me, but not quiet to an extent.
Yeah. So moving on to obviously to the Sunday was where started getting interested. Obviously, there's a challenge that's going to come out on YouTube very soon, where especially we look over what we've done. We've got a direct competition with each other. Ended up picking up a card for each other. There's going to be a few packs ripped and a few other bits, which is going to be very exciting. We've had a sneak peek at each other's stuff, so we're looking forward to seeing who gets decided the winner. And I know we're both very happy with what we got for the prices. So do stay tuned for that. It'll be all over the social medias once it's released. But moving on to the Sunday, and obviously my first thing, technically mine won a pickup. Is I can actually explain this and it'd be quite weird if I said, first thing was someone started drawing on one of my cards. But then when you actually explain it, it's actually not too strange. So I took
I love
with
this.
me to Prism. Lucky enough, last Thursday I was with LGL Breaks, our good friend, and it actually bought a couple of H2 boxes off of him. And one of them was a Green Wave parallel box. I managed to get tossing in that. So first one I got autoed was the Purple Mojo, which just looks great. But then, lucky enough for me, I had the Green Wave as well, which I think this one just looks absolutely stunning.
They're
Which
such nice cards now. You got the
I'm
autos on
very
card.
tempted to get this sent off to PSA and get it authenticated the auto, and I just can't wait for them to say it's not authentic, and I'm gonna be like, well, I know it is because Geezer signed it in front of me. But I think they're just great looking cards, and like big thanks to him for signing them. And
But I'm pretty sure someone from Soccer Cards United actually
yeah,
filmed it. So if needs be, get the clip from him, and then you can send it off to PSA with it.
yeah, like I say, massive thanks to him because like I say, it's just a lovely piece to have in the collection of obviously a fellow collector, really nice guy as well. And hopefully he's in the new prison coming out, but that'd be sitting safely in the PC, potentially off for grading at one point. But what it is, PSA probably realizes at one point it'd be about 50 tossing cards at certain authentication department. They'd be like, scan all it. Why has he got so many on-card autos all of a sudden? And they'll probably be looking at it. It's like, what sets come out? Oh no, this is Chronic. So hopefully send that off. And like every single card show, I know our good friend Jason probably visited this one store about 30 times in the 2 days and picked up a lot, but I always end up picking some nice bits up from wedding collectibles stands. Always have a nice abundance of different vintage and more modern stickers. So this one's a bit, there's some random bits in there, but this whole bundle cost me £10, which I'm not complaining about. So I've got a nice like 2016 Adrenaline Odegaard, obviously when he was really young in that one. Moving on now, lovely Tony Adams from 1998, which just an absolute legend and in decent condition as well, so it might go for grading. A nice Jens Lehmann Champions League from 2000 when he was at Borussia Dortmund. On to the next one, obviously the in the Everton colours, but obviously the gaffer now, Mikel, whose haircut still hasn't changed in the
I don't think he's aged either.
no, it's 17 years ago that is that picture's taken, and he doesn't look any different. But I don't know how the
No.
geezer does it. Moving on now to a little different one. A nice little Thierry Henry from 2008 Euros. Just said I don't see many action shop stickers with him, so I was up there. And this one's quite a nice little cool piece. This was from 1972. Nice badge. So, like I say, it's just a cool piece that you don't really see every day, and it would just sit nice in the collection. A nice Freddie Lundberg from Euro 2000. Just a legendary player. Moving on now to another lovely Mikel Arteta, obviously when he was at Everton as well. Then the three of the best ones out of the lot for me. A nice Tony Adams Super Players, which is in very good condition, which might go off for grading. a lovely Jose Antonio Reyes from 2006 in the legendary kit, which this one will definitely be going off for grading. Just what a player he was, and sadly, obviously passed away recently as well. And then this lovely Mesut Ozil with like a sparkle foil from England 2014. So that all for £10. I just couldn't go wrong for that price. You probably some places probably pay £5 for just like the Raiders. So, but buying in that kind of bulk is just ridiculous at £10.
Yeah, I mean, you love picking up a good amount of stickers when we go to these card shows, especially from the one guy you picked all those up from. So that's the thing with these stickers. You get these graded at any company, and you're already adding value to it, and especially from a sticker that's from the 1970s or the 1980s. It's incredible to see them all slabbed up, and it's them pieces of, like, for us, Arsenal history. I know the Henry stickers from 1999 and 2000 Merlin. You've got the Adams from 98, and it's just, when you get these slabbed up for any Arsenal collector, it's priceless. So yeah, it's some cracking stickers you pulled there. All for a tenner. You can't really say fairer than that.
Definitely. I think so hopefully when a couple of them come back slabbed, I think 3 of them definitely off. Yeah. Some of them, it doesn't even matter to me if they do get like a 4 or 5. It's just going to be nice having set up there, look cool. Especially some of them, no one in the world is going to grade them apart from me, most likely. So it'd be even better just have a unique piece. And then my last set of pickups was from Martin from Card Sales Page, which got 4 different cards here. So we got like a nice little cheap Thomas Partey blue mosaic to 99. Got this lovely. One of my favourite sets is the matchups from the World Cup when it was in Brazil, and this one's
Nice.
Neymar Falcao, and actually numbered to 149. So another one that should go off for grading at some point. And then obviously one of my New Year's resolutions in the card world was to get an on-card auto, and the next 2 are actually on-card autos. So I got this nice Hecky B from Select, just a lovely set and lovely auto as well. And then the last one, which is an absolute gem, and this will be getting, when I do order my new mags, will be getting magged up. A lovely National Treasures, Timeless Talent, Eduardo da Silva, and just being on card. It's just it's so nice.
Can't beat an on-card auto, man.
In person, it doesn't do it justice via a camera. This one in person, it's just so nice. The foil on it and everything. So I was very happy to pick all of that up. And realistically, out of all of that, I only spent 60 quid really on these cards, which really I can't complain at all. So I was very happy. And I know obviously you had a few more pickups, and obviously some of them were very nice because I was the one who sold them to you. But if we see some of the other bits that you did actually pick up.
Yeah, obviously I had a submission from SGC that I picked up as well on the Saturday, which obviously I was very pleased with the results. I know I've already posted one of them on my Instagram. Obviously I had the Jack Wilshere obviously back from SGC, obviously a 10-10. He's also from 2013 Topps Gold. Was massively pleased to get a 10-10 on that. I also had a Wenger from 1996-97 Merlin come back in SGC 8. And then another Wenger from 87-88 from when he's in Monaco days, which come back in SGC 7. So, yeah, I was really pleased to get those 3 back from SGC, picked those up on the Saturday. So I was massively happy to get those back in hand finally. I also picked up for a little bit of the PC Rainbow I'm trying to get, which is the Conrad Lima, his go-kart from Club Chrome. This one is I think the green electric to 175, I believe it is. Yeah, 175. Yeah, so that was a nice little pickup from our good friend Miles MJT. I also got a little gift from El Toro on the car on the way back. He got me a Pierre Gasly from a 2021 Sapphire, the green to 75, which was a nice little surprise. So shout out to Jason El Toro. And then obviously the famous deal I did with you, Ronnie. Picked up a nice Gabrielle purple to 299 and an SGC 9, obviously from Merlin. And then a few handful of women's chrome, but the 2 standout being the Iwabuchi Auto and the Woburn Moy, both to 150. So yeah, I've not picked up a lot of women's chrome. I'm trying to obviously pick up a little bit more, especially the autos from like Mead and Miedemar. But yeah, massively pleased to get the Iwabuchi and the Woburn Moy to 150. So yeah, that was obviously my pickups throughout the whole weekend. Obviously the highlight definitely being the Thierry Henry in the slab mag. But yeah, very buzzing to get the my HGC submission back, and yeah, already looking forward to the next show.
Yeah, like I say, it should be announced any day soon, the dates, and as soon as we get in, can pass it on. Hopefully, we'll be able to tell you and confirm the dates by next week's episode, and we can then start the countdown already to whenever it's going to be. Because no doubt it's going to be one of them that it's going to come round very soon. I was looking at, I've literally got all the tickets behind my screen at the moment, so I've got like the first one back in 30th of April last year that I went to, and then the 23rd of July, and then obviously the 29th of October. Now this one here, and got them all lining up each other on a little rack, and it's just I'm thinking every time it's getting more and more and more, and like I think I got lucky. I think the only thing I've not done so far is VIP. So I think I'm really have to go VIP, or at least get a VIP ticket next time, so I can get the full set. Obviously I haven't done sponsor. There's the other one sponsor, but obviously we're lucky enough to get ambassadors this show. Done general admin a couple of times. Obviously got the trademark one and got a vendor one as well. So like I say, it's going to be interesting. We're looking forward to the next one, and like looking at the room for how it was. If it was they used 66% of the floor space, so it's still got room to expand, like we said earlier on, which is going to be great. Especially we know it's going to expand. Especially once it gets a bit warmer as well. Bit further away from Christmas, bit further into the year, people will be more inclined to do it. And it'd be very intriguing because obviously by the time the next one comes around, which will be May time, it'd be closer to the end of the season, deeper into the Champions League. So a lot of players' prices will be up, some will be down by them. And no doubt people will be buying a card at this show, probably sell it at the next show, and it'd be a totally different price range. People have had cards probably bought at this show, be graded by the next one. So it's
Yeah.
always fun. It's always fun to look forward to. And like you say, there's so many nice cards you see at the card show. It gives you inspiration to what to go after, what to grade for yourself that you might already have. And yeah, it was like I say, it was a great weekend. And obviously, I know we've said it multiple times already, but it was just real congratulations to the team. I know Harry. We know Harry very well enough that I have no doubt that he's already well underway of planning the next one. Probably even started planning it on Friday night before the last one even started. So it should be very intriguing to see what happens. There obviously quite a bit of time in between for people to buy a bit more, sell, or even save up your money for the show, which would be quite intriguing. But yeah, I think it was like you say, you experienced the full weekend for the first time. So is that definitely an experience that you'll do again? Like obviously, like I say, it's definitely draining, by what everyone said, but was it a good thing to experience the actual full show?
Oh, 100%, 100%. There's no way I couldn't recommend enough going for the full weekend. There's obviously the closer you leave it, the more expensive the hotels get nearby. But we had a hotel booked for the Saturday night, drove down on the Saturday morning. But no, yeah, I couldn't recommend enough going for the full weekend. It was absolutely wicked to be down there for both the days, to see it from start to finish on the Saturday and the Sunday. To get to experience both days, you get to experience all the different cards on the show, all the different vendors, attendees, sponsors. You get to see the full sort of capacity of the show throughout the whole weekend. So if anyone is obviously listening to this, watching this, and just didn't go to this weekend's one and is debating going to the next one, I could not recommend it enough. It is an absolutely incredible show. I know we've said it enough on here already, but kudos to Harry and all the team behind him. They have done an absolutely incredible job. And I couldn't recommend the show to anyone anymore. Then especially for the full weekend. So I will definitely be doing the full weekend again next time. And yeah, it's just going to be the countdown to the next one already. And we always say, we're sat here now doing the review, and we know in a blink of an eye we're sat here doing the London Card Show build up yet again the week of the show. So, but yeah, could not recommend doing the full weekend enough. It really was such a great experience.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully, like I say, once the dates are announced, I'll be able to know. If most likely, I think it's in season, so it'll probably be another one day from me. But I always look forward to the summer one because that's normally the one I can normally commit to a bit more. But like I say, in terms of the actual show, it's another fantastic show. Really nice pickups, not just from us too, but I see a lot of really nice pickups from a load of different people. Obviously, it's always nice meeting people as well, talking to them. I think obviously that's the main thing for the shows for us is just talking to people, talking about the hobby, and not having to wait for Instagram DMs or if Instagram's not working and stuff like that in person, so it's so much better. But in terms of the actual podcast, me especially, obviously Harry does echo it, but obviously it's 50 down now, 50 episodes have gone. Started it back in February last year, so it's pretty much, it's actually funny enough, as this goes out, it's actually my birthday, so it's kind of a nice touch for me, more as a personal achievement. To I knew last
Can
year
we
when
do
I
a quick 30-second pause so everyone can sing happy birthday to you if
please,
they're
mate, I'm
listening?
gonna. That's fine. We're going to do the 30-second pause, and then I'm actually going to cut it out in editing, so it's fine. So no one will ever know the difference. But yeah, just personally, I just say a massive thank you to everyone, because I was very nervous 50 episodes ago to ever start the podcast, and now it's literally a year in. Obviously, not 52 episodes. We take 2 weeks off at Christmas, but just a massive thank you to everyone. Obviously, Harry, for joining me as well on the route. But it's been an absolute pleasure so far, getting to know everyone. And I never thought it was actually ever going to be anything. So to be 50 episodes down, it's a big achievement for myself. And like I say, we have got some, personally and for the podcast, some very big things planned, which we are working on. Obviously, that was like the YouTube has launched. It's not at a great level at the moment because it's very new, but there's a lot more ideas that I'm working on with that. And I know Harry is the same as well. We're working on a lot more behind the scenes. So, like I say, it's going to be a great race to 100. That's the target. Now, the first target for me
The
was
big
to get
century.
1, and then it was to 25 to 50s, and now it's 100 episodes up, which would obviously be the January time next year. So, like I say to everyone, thank you, everyone, and anyone who's listened, joined as a guest, or just listens along or engaged at all, because it's been a fantastic experience. And like I say, we're going to bring you a lot more guests are in the plans to come up as well, not just UK but worldwide as well. But always, as the main reason why I set up this podcast was to try and help the UK hobby grow, and that's still my main goal of this. So, as we say, we're always looking for more people to join on. We've got a bit of a list at the moment, but we're always reaching out, talking to people about potentially coming on. I know we've got a few lined up, some really good ones lined up as well that I spoke to them at the show. But I just say thank you everyone so much yet again for joining us on this review of the London Car Show. Obviously, this was episode 50. We'll be back next week for a more of your standard return of episode 51, which obviously will be coming out next Tuesday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Obviously, if you're listening along on YouTube, make sure you drop us a follow, press the like button, and just let us know any questions about London Car Show, or if you went, what you thought about it. And likewise on Spotify, because now Spotify have a comment section, which I did not know about until the other day. So thank you everyone for listening. As we say, I hope everyone out there is doing safe, staying well, and most importantly, happy hobbying, and good night.